How does an agent get paid on a SubTo transaction? Well, this is a house. It's in Buckeye, Arizona, and it's a 3-bed, 2-bath house, I believe. This is my first time coming here. I never had to talk to the seller. I never had to negotiate with the agent. The story of this deal comes right here. Seller of this house has a $400,000 bank loan. The house is also worth like $425,000. The problem, as most people don't understand, if the seller owes $425,000 and they sell the house for $425,000, they owe $400,000 to the bank. You think that the seller would have $25,000 left over. That's not true, because the seller would have to pay the commissions to the agent, the seller's agent, the buyer's agent, closing costs, home warranties, a whole bunch of other things. So technically, this seller at $425,000 value doesn't have any equity. Actually, they have negative equity, okay? So the seller hires an agent, they put the house on the market for 4.5 months, but unfortunately, because interest rates are so high, they weren't able to sell the house, okay? That's the reason why they weren't able to sell it. So the agent had plenty of people wanting to look at the house, but they were having to lowball the seller. Even though the house was worth $425,000, nobody could afford to pay for $425,000. So this is common. It's going to happen a lot more over and over and over the next couple of years, because interest rates right now, I think we're getting quoted somewhere around, like 7%, 6.5% on all of our BRRRR deals. So if you guys are doing the BRRRR strategy, you'll run into this a lot. We're getting hammered on the BRRRR strategy. So that's what was going on this deal. So how did we come in contact? Well, as you guys know, I teach people how to do this. So I get wholesalers that come to me and they have dead leads and they go, Pace, I'm generating leads for buying wholesale deals and I don't know what the heck to do. I get agents that come to me all the time and say, Pace, I have a listing that's not selling. I don't know what to do. The answer always is creative finance, okay? So here I am, I go, guys, this is like the easiest thing in the world. Like, you guys just don't understand the value of this house. The value of the house is not the actual house. The value of the house is the bank loan that's already in place. You got a buyer that says, I can't afford to pay this house, because they're going to the bank and the bank is saying, hey, we'll give you 7.5% interest or 6.5% interest or whatever it is. Well, with that interest rate, they can't afford to pay $400,000. The cool thing is this seller already has a bank loan with Wells Fargo at 3.25% interest. So you're going to go get a new loan as the buyer for 7.5% to pay off somebody else's loan at 3.25%. It makes zero sense for me to go and get a loan, a brand new loan of 7.5% that nobody makes any money. The agent doesn't make any money. The seller doesn't make any more money. The only people that make money are the banks. And so why am I going and getting a brand new loan at 7% or 6% to go pay off somebody else's loan at 3.25%. And so what I do is I teach people how to overcome this by taking over the mortgage. So here's what we did. I taught my student, he was a wholesaler. Obviously he's doing more than that now. I said, if you can get this deal done, I'll pay you $10,000. So go to the agent, which he did, go to the agent, tell the agent you'll pay the agent $10,000. If the agent goes to the seller and says, we'll pay you $12,000, if you let us take over your Wells Fargo loan, right? So Wells Fargo has an existing loan with Wells Fargo. Let us take over a $400,000 loan, subject to 3.25%, and I'll make the payments to Wells Fargo instead of the seller. And in that process, I will receive this magical thing called a deed. And the deed transfers over to me, the buy and holder. I'm the guy that is buying and holding the property. So I get the deed, I get the ownership, and the Wells Fargo stays in the seller's name, but I'm the one that makes the payments. The mortgage, I end up being the buyer, right? I'm the buy and hold. There's a mortgage balance of, or mortgage payment of $1,400. I can rent this house out for $2,100. And there is a positive cash flow of about $700 per month, okay? That's pretty good. I don't mind passive income of $700 a month. I don't mind that. Now, the problem is it costs $32,000 because remember, my student got paid 10 grand, the agent got paid 10 grand, and the seller, who was going to have to lose money over here on a traditional transaction, the seller is going to lose money on a traditional transaction. The seller actually in a SubTo creative finance transaction made $12,000. The agent who was going to lose the listing made $10,000, and the student who was a wholesaler trying to buy this deal under $400,000, this was the only way they were going to get that deal made, right? So $10,000 here. Now, where did the money come from? Because it cost us $32,000 plus $10,000 in miscellaneous costs, right? So when I buy a property like this, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean it up, do a little paint, maybe replace the carpet. I'll probably spend less than $5,000 here, literally less than $5,000 bucks. $2,000 on paint, $1,500 on carpet, and then like another $1,000, maybe $1,500 bucks, just going around and doing little drywall repairs, replacing batteries, stuff like that. So I'm going to be all into this thing, $42,000. Now, for a brand new person, $42,000 scares the crap out of you. Well, I'm a buy and hold investor, so other buy and hold investors already know that if I buy a $400,000 house and I'm all in for roughly 10%, man, I got a screaming deal. And the fact that I got to take over an existing loan at 3.25%, oh my gosh, I didn't have to apply for the loan. Nobody had to look at my bank records. Nobody looked at my job history, my tax returns. Literally nothing was shown for me to take over the Wells Fargo loan at $400,000. And I didn't have to pay the bank anything. I didn't get approval from the bank. I can legally take over the deed. I can take the ownership of this property. I'm standing in a property I currently own right now without any of that stuff. No application, no loan was involved. Okay, I didn't go out and get a loan. And I didn't have to qualify, look at my bank records, nothing, literally nothing, okay? Now, where does the $42,000 come from? Now, when you get more experience in the business, maybe that comes from yourself, but here's some places that money comes from. You've got a private money lender. This is friends, family, etc. I've actually had a lot of sellers, my previous sellers on other deals will go, hey, Pace, if you ever have a deal, I'd love to fund you and be a lender for you. You could bring in a partner, right? I've done a lot of deals with my dad. I've done a lot of deals with my friends. I've done a lot of deals with other investors that maybe I found the deal. So they go, hey, I'll bring the money to the table. So they bring the 42, but I bring the deal, right? And we go 50-50. If you're doing a lot of real estate wholesaling, you can probably self-fund it from one of your wholesale deals, or you could have it come from your self-directed 401k. Also, we've been teaching people how to go get lines of credit, how to do this stuff. If you guys go to startwithprime.com, if you go to startwithprime.com, they'll teach you how to get a line of credit, and you can go and do stuff like this. Now, here's what's amazing about this. The way I got this deal is I actually brought on a partner. I have people that come to me all the time that say, Pace, I've got a lot of cash. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to find my own deals. And so they bring the money. So they brought the $42,000. So we're splitting the deal down the middle. All I had to do was educate the wholesaler. All I had to do was educate the agent and educate the seller on how this whole process works. It is way easier. I don't have to get banks involved. I don't have to have credit approvals. I don't have to do inspections, appraisals. I don't have to do any of that stuff. Creative finance is way easier than a cash transaction. So when people tell me, oh, wholesale, I'm going to start with wholesale, you're going to start with something more challenging. I can pay top dollar and actually get into a deal like this with no money out of my pocket, but not with wholesale. I can't do that with wholesale. Now, one thing you can do is you can wholesale creative finance. So what I did is this agent, I taught the agent how to get this under contract. So we got a contract right here, a SubTo contract. I helped the agent write this up because they didn't know what they were doing. The agent assigned it to my student, okay, with an assignment contract. And then my student assigned it to me with another assignment contract. So one assignment contract paid my student $10,000, another assignment contract paid the agent $10,000, and the original SubTo contract paid the seller $12,000. That is how the agent got paid in this specific deal. If you're an agent and you're trying to learn how to get deals done like this, please head over to SubTo.com, see if we can help you guys out. We'd love to teach you how to do this process, how to take a listing that's not selling and actually convert it into a creative finance scenario. If you're a wholesaler and you're having a hard time with your leads, please hit us up. Let me know. I'd love to know down in the comments if you guys need help with your leads. Or if you're a buy and hold investor, this is magic. right? My wife is an agent, I'm a wholesaler, I'm a fix and flipper, and I'm a major buy and holder. This year we bought 1,300 units, primarily using creative finance. And I want to show you guys how we do that. It is absolutely powerful. So hopefully you liked this video today. If you did, please make a comment down below. And I hope this answered the question of how do we pay agents?